Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the City Council meeting for the City of Virginia. This is a regularly scheduled council meeting. I will call this meeting to order. Today's date is Tuesday, December 22nd, 2020. The time is 5:30 p.m. Pam, would you please take the roll call?
Baraboo,
Present.
Greenleaf,
Here.
Johnson,
Here.
Beyondich,
Present.
Paulson,
Present.
Sally,
Present.
Coffee.
Present, thank you. Please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Move to item 4 on the agenda, which is a public forum. There's no one in the audience today to make a presentation. Britt, Pam, is there anybody on the line? Thank you. We'll move to item 5 on the agenda, which is the consent agenda. The following items will be enacted by one motion unless a councilor or a citizen of the City of Virginia requests that the item be considered separately. Item 5.1 is the approval of corrections of the minutes of the meetings. 5.1A, the council meeting that was held on December 8th, 2020. 5.1B, the public hearing that was held on December 8th, 2020. And the special meeting on 5.1C that was held on December 15th, 2020. Item 5.2 is adoption of the finance resolution number 20-024, the schedule of bills. Item 5.3 is approve the 2021 3.2 off-sale license renewal for the Holiday/Corman LLC, doing business as Holiday Station Number 41. Item 5.4, approve the 2021 tobacco licenses for the following. 5.1A, Holiday Corman LLC, doing business as Holiday Station Number 41. Item 5.4B, Holiday Corman LLC, doing business as Holiday Station Number 148. Item 5.4C, the Virginia Smoke Shop LLC, doing business as the Smoke Shop. And item 5.4D, Mohammed Wazwaz, doing business as Super Smoke Shop in Virginia. And finally, item 5.4E, DG Retail, doing business as Dollar General Store Number 13970. Item 5.5, approve the 2021 taxi license for Ralph Ainsworth, doing business as CNM Taxi, contingent upon submission of all required paperwork. Item 5.6 is to approve the 2021 second-hand goods license for Tony Altobelli, doing business as Power Play Sports. 5.7, approve 2021 pawn broker's license for Thomas Anderson, doing business as North Star Pawn and Gun. 5.8, the approval of the 2021 solid waste hauler's license for waste management. 5.7, approve the travel requests for the police department, Jesse Holacek and Troy Mealy, to attend the Public Agency Training Council January 25th through the 29th, 2021 in Grand Rapids at a cost of $1,495 each. These are field training officer programs for 2 new field training officers for the department. This is a budgeted item. Item 5.8, approve the 2021 second-hand goods license for Goodwill Industries. Item 5.9, approve the 2021 massage license for Wendy Lindsay, doing business as the Pebble Spa. And finally, item 5.10, approve the 2021 liquor license for Northern Divide Incorporated, doing business as the Northern Divide Bar and Eatery. These are the consent agenda items looking for council action.
I will move the consent agenda.
Councilor Johnson moves to approve the consent agenda. Is there support?
All support, Mayor.
Support by Councilor Baraboo. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 6 is appearances. Is there anyone on the line that would like to make an appearance at this time? We have no one scheduled. No one scheduled, so we'll move to item 7, unfinished business. We do not have any unfinished business. Item 8, discussion items. 8.1, adopt the resolution for the final pay estimate number 7 to Casper Construction for the Midway Drive project in the amount of $75,499.63.
So move.
Moved to approve by Councilor Freely, support.
I'll support again, Mayor.
Support by Councilor Bearable. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item 8.2, adopt a resolution designating the precinct polling places for 2021. And in your packet, there's a resolution that designates all polling places for 2021 to the Miners Memorial Building.
I'll move to approve, Mayor.
Councilor Paulson moves to approve the polling places as designated in the resolution. Is there support?
Support for discussion?
Support by Councilor Johnson for discussion. Further discussion? Councilor Johnson.
Thank you, Mayor. I had asked this earlier and I want to bring it up now about the actual physical location changing and the address of the miners or the MEC changing. Just want to make sure that we have the ability in June or July to change the resolution designating places that will be inside should there be any elections in August or November next year.
The request is to ensure that the address is accurate.
Well, because where the miners is now will be, I just want to make sure that we can make that change when we need to, because I would guess that the miners' address will actually change at some point with the addition of 6th Street going, 6th Street going through, and the miners being on the other side of that street. So I just want to make sure we have that ability in the future.
Okay, thank you.
I can answer that question.
Pam, go ahead.
Yes, Councilor Johnson and I talked with Brian, and I did want to get the new address for the MEC, but it wasn't available at the time of the resolution. And I did talk with the county regarding the address, and it's not that big of a deal because they will not be sending out new cards or anything because it's basically the same location, even though the address might be off by a number or two.
Councilor Johnson?
Thank you very much.
It's in the same vicinity of the miners.
Okay, thank you, Pam. Okay, any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item 8.3, adopt the resolution accepting a donation for the library. There is a resolution in your packet, and my computer has under item 8.3, and it's the resolution with a donor of Danny and Phyllis Toll in the amount of $100.
I will move to accept.
motion.
Support.
Councilor Beyondich makes the motion to approve, to accept the donation, supported by Councilor Johnson. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 8.4 is adopt a resolution accepting donations for Shop with a Cop. And in your packet, there is a resolution of donations for that program. The International Association of Firefighters Local 390, $400. Law Enforcement Labor Services, $400. Local Union 454, $250. MAPE, the Minnesota Association of Professional Employees, $200. Ritchie's Machines, $500. Locker Talk LLC, Bob Cohn, $200. Larry Cuffey family, $400, and cash donations of $520. These are the amounts of, on the resolution to accept the donations as read.
I will move to accept.
Moved by Counselor John to accept these donations and supported by Counselor Barnzelli. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 8.5, adopt a resolution accepting a donation for corporate employee giving program. The resolution is in your packet. The name of the donor is AT&T in the amount of $16.
I
Move
will
to
make that motion.
support.
Counselor Beyondich makes the motion to approve, supported by Counselor Johnson. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 8.6, appoint Darwin Aller to the Municipal Cable Commission for a 3-year term ending 12/1 of 2023.
I'll move.
Moved by Counselor Paulson to approve the appointment of Darwin Aller. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Counselor Friedlieb. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item 8.7, approve the following action items from the Planning and Zoning meeting that was held on December 7th, 2020. 8.7A, approve the conditional use permit for approval for Tanya and Steve Carlson in order to operate a mini golf course on parcels numbers 0900-0063-00130, parcel number 090-0063-00160, and 090-0063-00120, legally described as parts of lots 12 and 13 and all of lot 16 in College Plaza. And this property is located behind the Cedars in the West Chestnut industrial area.
I will
I will
move.
make that motion.
Moved by Counselor Beyondich to approve and supported by Counselor Johnson. Is there any further discussion?
Mayor,
Yes, Counselor Friedlieb.
just based on the information provided, is that, we assume those are contiguous then?
They are.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item 8.7B, approve an extension until February 7th, 2021 for the violations of Chapter 21 Virginia Property Maintenance Preservation Code at 108 First Street North. Do we have any more information on this one? Yeah, okay, well, let's take a look. I have it right here. Thank you.
Planning and Zoning Commission feels that this gentleman needs a couple more months to finish it.
Okay,
I will move for that extension to be afforded to them.
okay, thank you. Moved by Counselor Freely. Is there support?
Support for discussion?
Support by Counselor Johnson. Further discussion, Counselor Johnson.
Thank you, Mayor. Do we know when the original deadline was? I don't see it. Okay. Right, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, moved and supported. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. And part Finally, item 8.8 is adopt a resolution approving the hire of seasonal recreation assistants. And I think for a little clarification and a schedule for this public's information, I would ask our Park and Rec Director, who is our council meeting this evening, Brian Silver, to give a little update. Brian, good evening, and thank you.
Good evening. As you are aware, the outdoor skating shacks or the outdoor skating rinks are open. Presently, our skating shacks, the warming shacks, are not open. We do expect that Governor Waltz will be amending his executive order, and it will allow us to be opening these skating shacks and the warming shacks here in the near future. So we are preparing for that. Several months ago, I had given you guys a list of protocols that we will be taking due to COVID. So those will be in place, and we are just looking to hire our seasonal staff to man the warming shacks at this time. We have several on the list for you today. We still have a couple of openings left to fill. So here in the near future, you will have a couple of additional names to add to this list.
And the total number of seasonals we will be hiring is?
6.
6. Very good. Thank you. Councilor Johnson.
Move the resolution hiring the seasonal workers.
A move by Councilor Johnson and supported by,
I'll support, Mayor. Thank you.
I think that was Councilor Paulson. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Brian. We'll move to item 9, committee reports. 9.1, the Street and Alley Committee. They held a meeting on December 10th, 2020. And I'll turn that over to the committee chair of Street and Alley, Councilor Baraboo.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. We had quite a discussion. At that meeting, we had discussion about the potential for 3rd Street South from the school going west to from 6th Avenue to 9th Avenue. And we came up with some resolution on that. And the Carl Sanderson and our Public Works Department were looking for putting together a route when they deconstruct the old school and stuff. And now we do have a potential road design for that right now, and I'm going to be calling a street and alley meeting after we get through with the holidays here to approve that. So that's just for informational purposes. Then we went on to talk about how we can get some more dollars. Matt Reed brought this up. For an LRIP application for the 2023 street projects. This is, I believe, Brett, this is for federal money, correct?
No, this is a state money.
Oh, this is state, okay. I'm sorry, I misunderstood that.
It has to be for a feeder road.
Yep.
But, yeah.
And we have a design which one, we'll be bringing that back to the council. So we just need improvement to put that in so we can submit for the local road improvement program for an application with the road project we're going to look at. So I'm looking for a motion, or I'll make the motion on that there.
Looking for a motion to adopt the resolution for submittal of the local road improvement application for the 2023 street project.
So move.
Moved by Councilor Johnson, supported by Councilor Barnzelli. Is there any further discussion?
It's actually in your packet if you want to look at which streets they are. It's actually in the resolution stated, so you can see it just down a row in your report.
Yeah, and thank you, Councilor Baraboo. And for the public's information, that in the resolution for the 2023 request, it's for Southern Drive from County Road 657 to 14th Avenue West, 14th Avenue West from Southern Drive to 20th Street South, and 20th Street South from 14th Avenue West to Southern Drive. So that's the resolution in your packet. Remember, this is a request for funds for the 2023 improvement program. Thank you. So it has been moved and supported. Is there any further discussion? Counselor Freely?
Just really quickly, Charlie, can you just reiterate what you talked about Third Street? So once they demolish the technical building and the science annex, is the plan to continue Third Street on through, or are you going to have,
No,
no?
no, because the new school is going to be going up, the grade school will be going up where they're tearing down.
So that'll all be green space then?
Well, once they get the high school out of there, which will come just after the new high school opens in, I believe, 23,
Okay,
then the other portion will come down.
all right, thank you.
What we're trying to prevent is traffic from all the heavy loaded trucks to go on that street, and that's going to work out fine, because our street's going in next year, 21, and the school tear down for the grade school is coming in 22.
Okay.
So they're using a route that will not interfere with that brand new street, because we don't want those heavy loaded trucks with demolition materials. And I will be bringing it to a street and alley, the proposed route that we just got back the other day, and we'll have a street and alley meeting. We're going to go through the holidays because it's not imperative that we make a decision next week.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Counselor Freely, Counselor Bearable. It's been moved and supported. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Move to item 9, committee reports. Item 9.1, the Street and Alley Committee meeting that was held on December 10th, 2020.
That's the one we just got through with.
We just finished that one.
67 years old?
Let's 68 now.
Oh, okay.
So let's move past that to item 9.2, which is a committee of the whole meeting that was held on December 15th, 2020. And I'll turn this part of the meeting over to our city administrator, Britt C. Bennett. Britt?
Thank you. At the December 15th Council Committee of the Whole meeting, Chief Alan Lewis discussed the collaboration agreement with LifeLink 3, and he noted that if we sign this agreement, the city would collect funds on runs that we normally would not be able to collect funds on. Thus, it was moved and supported to approve the collaboration agreement between the City of Virginia, doing business as Virginia Fire Department, and LifeLink 3.
So moved.
Moved to approve by Counselor Johnson and supported by Counselor Barnzelli. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Next item on the agenda was the discussion regarding the application to USDA for gap funding for our Public Safety Center. We were graciously granted money from the state, however, we need some more funds to get that building to be a reality. Thus, we have to start looking for an architect as a requirement of the USDA grant. It was moved and supported to approve advertising for statement of qualifications for architectural and engineering design services for the Public Safety Center project.
Thank you.
I'll move the advertising for that.
Moved by Counselor Freely. Is there support?
I'll support, Mayor.
Support by Counselor Baraboo. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
It was moved and supported to approve the resolution accepting the bid from Northeast Technical Services for a pre-demolition inspection at 231 2nd Street North.
I will make that motion.
Motion to approve by Counselor Beyondich. Is there support? Support by Counselor Barnzelli. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Mr. Bill Hennis, our Public Works Director, discussed with the council a request to purchase a cardboard recycling truck to replace one of our current trucks. This is a right-hand drive vehicle, which is why the cost is somewhat higher than our last truck we purchased for the recycling truck. It was moved and supported to approve the quote for a cardboard recycling truck chassis from RIHM Kenworth and the truck body from McQueen Equipment in the total purchase price of $241,190.40.
So moved.
Moved by Counselor Johnson to approve. Is there support?
I'll support, Mayor.
Support. Support by Counselor Beyondich. Further discussion, just one quick question. Sherry, this comes out of the enterprise fund for
Does come out of the enterprise fund, yes.
Thank you very much. Okay, moved and supported. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Mr. Brian Silber, Park and Recreation Director, was present at the meeting to discuss the interior color selection for the new Miners Event and Convention Center and presented the examples of the colors and the finishes to the council. The design team for the MEC had reviewed the colors and were offering the selections that they brought forward for approval to the council. It was noted that the desire was to keep It was noted the desire was to authorize color schemes now so that the orders can be placed to deflect any delays on shipping. As we know, shipping is delayed everywhere at this moment. Eric Wedge of DSGW noted that the wood and taconite are some of the options that are agreed upon for finishes to be used at the MEC, and also the paint colors in the arena shall be a neutral color. The council thanked Mr. Silber and Mr. Wedge and the others on the design team for the selection process and the variety of options presented. It was moved and supported to accept the design team's recommendations for the color scheme and the finishes for the MEC, and to allow Cross Anderson to release the shop drawings and proceed with ordering the recommended items.
Thank you. Looking for council action.
Also move the, I believe there's a resolution in the packet for that.
I'll support.
I'll support.
Moved by Counselor Bearable and supported by Counselor Paulson to accept the design team recommendations for the color scheme and finishes for the MEC project and to allow Cross Anderson to release the shop drawings and proceed to order the recommended items. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Mr. Brian Silber also gave us some good news at the meeting and let us know that there was a project change order number 3, landscape revisions for the Owens Field redevelopment project, which resulted in a reduction of $3,578.63. It was moved and supported to approve that change order, reducing the contract by the amount of $3,578.63.
So moved.
Moved by Counselor Johnson. Is there support?
Support.
Support by
Support.
Counselor. Okay, who is on the line?
Maya.
Support by Counselor Beyondich. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Fire Chief Alan Lewis discussed the fire hall staffing and gave a PowerPoint presentation regarding the number of 911 calls, transfer calls, information by jurisdiction, allocation by hospital or facility, and proposed staffing issues. The council discussed other issues with calls and transfers. Battalion Chief Joel Martinson gave a video presentation on the proposed 24/7 shift schedule for our single role staff. The fire department's recommending modifying the schedule for the single roles to 4-person teams, would be 3 groups of 4 people working 12-hour shifts. Chief Lewis discussed the number of medical emergency and hospital transports. Discussion was had regarding the cost of a single role employee of hiring an employee for a single position is approximately $85,000 annually, including the benefits. Further discussion continued on the cost of hires versus revenues received. The downside of not proceeding with hiring are concerns regarding Virginia not able to complete all requested patient transports. It was also noted that if the schedule was changed, a memorandum of understanding would be needed to implement the new schedule change and the addition of 6 single-role positions. It was also noted that hiring the single-role employees, when fully staffed, would increase the fire budget approximately $600,000. It was moved and supported after discussion to allow staff to hire up to 6 additional single-role employees for a total of up to 12 single-role positions as deemed necessary by staff.
I will move.
Move to approve by Counselor Johnson. Is there support?
I'll support.
Uh,
For discussion, go ahead.
Support by Counselor Barnzelli. Further discussion, Counselor Freely.
Well, I'm in support of this based on Fire Chief Lewis's and Battalion Chief Martinson's exceptional presentation and supporting documentation and data that supports these additional hires to the department. So I thought that was very well done and justifies and legitimizes this request and resolution.
Thank you. Further discussion? Just one, we did have some significant discussion about the cost-benefit ratio about costs to the city associated with revenue recovery. And based upon the projections and the loss of transfers, the revenue recovery of at least the majority of the transfers would offset the cost of these extra single rows. So we are looking at to watch that very closely. So it has been moved and supported. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carries.
The final item at the committee of the whole meeting was we had discussion regarding when we sold our original bond for the miners project, the majority of the funds that we received were not needed for immediate disbursements, so we placed them into an investment account to garner a little bit of interest. At this time, the city needs to reconcile our accounts and get ourselves money back out of that investment account back into our general checking account. At the council meeting, committee of the whole meeting, we suggested the transfer of $5 million from the city investment account to the city checking account to cover the pay estimates paid to date for the MEC project. However, I'd like to revise it. We had our accountant do one more number crunch, and the actual dollar amount that we need to transfer is 5.8 million. So we asked if we could do 6 million just to cover all the pay estimates to date.
And just to clarify, this money was appropriated and put in this investment account until needed.
Correct.
Thank you.
Just to gain a little bit of interest. It wasn't a lot, but it was better than nothing.
Thank you. Britt, looking for council action,
Please note the resolution in your packet does say $6 million.
$6 million. Okay, yes, get out of here.
And I will so move the transfer of the funds in that resolution for this particular project.
Moved by Councilor Bearable. Is there support?
Support.
Support
All
by,
support for discussion.
oh, well, Councilor Brunzelli beat you to the punch. He'll support it. Further discussion, Councilor Beyondich.
Okay, thank you. That is fine. So are the bills that we are paying, do they come to the 6 million or are they under? And if they are under, when do we need to, just so we aren't taking money out of there that we're not going to use specifically on the MEC project?
I believe that's what this money is for. For the, Sherry, Sherry, would you please answer Councilor Beyondich's question?
Sure, Council. This money that we're asking to transfer is to actually reimburse our general fund that we've already expensed.
For the MEC project. So we, Councilor Beyondich,
Yeah.
go ahead.
6 million would be going towards the bills at the MEC project.
We have
No.
already expended 5.89 million, and so this money would be paying ourselves back.
Okay. So what, my question then would be, why aren't we just taking the amount of money out that we have to pay back, that we have the bills for? Why are we taking a little bit more?
We anticipate there's going to be more bills coming. We actually know that there's going to be more bills coming from DSGW and Cross Anderson. At the next committee of the whole meeting, Brian's telling me.
Yeah, there are more bills in the hopper, Councilor Beyondich, and we've already expended $5.89 million. We anticipate that we're going to spend a little bit more based upon the committee of the whole meeting that's going to be held next Tuesday. And so we're taking this money out to reimburse ourselves for the money we've already spent and the money we anticipate we'll have to spend moving forward after Tuesday's committee of the whole meeting. Does that make sense? Does that answer your question?
Yes, that helps. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, moved and supported. Any further discussion? Sherry, did you have something else?
I just wanted to pre-warn you, Council, that every quarter we're going to be coming, MEC is supposed to complete in 2021. We will be expending that bond money out in every quarter, probably at the tune of 5 to 6 million.
Yeah, thank you, and that's what it's for. Thank you. Councilor Johnson.
About how much is left in there then? I don't remember the total.
It was a little over 18 million, so
About 12-ish. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, moved and supported. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
I have no other items from that meeting.
Okay, Britt, no other items. We'll move to the commission liaison and department head reports. Does any city councilor have a committee report that they'd like to present this evening? Okay, we'll move to department head reports. Anything other than what was on the agenda from the department head? Any reminders, Britt, that we need to, that you'd like to present tonight? Okay, Sherry? No? Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay, would any other counselor like to make a statement or have any questions or concerns or comments? Okay, seeing none. Brian Lindsay, our attorney of record or city attorney, anything to share this evening?
No formal report, Mayor. I'm happy to answer any questions the council may have, though.
Okay, thank you very much. And I see Eric Wedges in the audience. Thank you, Eric, for coming and showing up for this. And Brian Silber for our partner who comes to the meetings all the time. And we needed him today once again to give us some more information to the general public. So, okay, we have another council meeting scheduled for Tuesday, January 12th at 5:30. But we also apparently going to have a special meeting before the committee of the whole on Tuesday, the 29th. Is that correct, or is that Monday?
There is no committee of the whole next Tuesday. That's just a special meeting.
Okay, I'm sorry. So I must stand corrected. No committee of the whole meeting. It's a special council meeting starting at 9 o'clock to discuss a variety of items. So we're going to be adjourning to that. And so I would just like to say on behalf of myself, and I'm sure on behalf of all the council, that we wish you a very happy holidays, a safe and healthy holiday season. And we wish you all the very best, and we thank everyone for the community support that we've been given and the charges that you've given us to do our work for calendar year 2020. We hope we've done yeoman's work for you. We want to continue to do that as a council. I think we've worked very well together in trying to take care of the city business. So on behalf of all of us, happy holidays, and on behalf of myself and my family, I'd like to say Merry Christmas to all of you. So nothing further to come before the council meeting today. We will stand adjourned to our special council meeting. Yes.
Just one question.
Yes, Councilor Baraboo.
Is this a year that we reorganize the council because it's a two-year election?
We're going to discuss that. Yeah, we'll have another reorganizational meeting. That'll be scheduled. We'll talk about that at our special council meeting on
Okay,
Tuesday.
that's fine then. That's all. I want to make sure we didn't forget that.
No, we will have that.
Okay.
Thank you for the reminder. So, no other business to come before the council this evening. We will stand adjourned to our next special council meeting, which is Tuesday, December the 29th. Have a very special holiday season. Thank you, everyone. We stand adjourned.